Hey everybody, Smoking Jay back at you with another Maximum Football video. And I have my boy Quasi91 here with me to talk about some features that we would like to see implemented in the current version or an upcoming version of Maximum Football. Want to tell everybody what's up, Quaz?
What's going on, everybody?
All righty. And the topic for today is the defensive side of the ball. And I had a little friendly banner with some individuals in the Maximum Football community about the defensive camera in the game. And in my opinion, I felt that I don't know if any of you guys are familiar with the old, was it the Superstar mode, Quaz, like where you could play as like linebacker in the older Maddens and you got to see from the defensive.
Not the Superstar mode. It was CFM, but player control.
Yeah,
you know you can be a coach, owner, or player.
Yeah, that was like
it's what player mode.
Yeah, I think it's back maybe Madden 25. But you can still do it in the game now, but it's what, player lock?
Yeah, it's always been in the game, but yes, you're talking about face of the franchise.
Yeah, face of the franchise. So whenever, and you can even do it in an online modes, but like whenever you view from the defensive side, you're just locked into that one player. You
cannot move. That's right. Correct.
And I think that it would be a cool feature if they could implement it to where, you could switch up, change your players. You don't have to be locked down to that one player and view from the defensive side of the ball. I think it adds more of that versus essence to the game and a better view of the game of football. Like all these years, I'm just tired of what people call the God cam from the offensive side of the ball. It just seems like it's very just always geared towards offense.
You got to think it's something completely different that people would have to adjust to. But in my opinion, we talked about this in the green room with everybody, and it would make playing defense like playing defense. And just a perfect example of that is play action, right?
Yes.
You have an unfair advantage as a defensive player, in my opinion, because you can read that way easier than you would be able to with the back over the top camera view as a linebacker or whatever. You wouldn't be able to see that handoff until it was well underway, right? But with the view we have now, you can see it. You can see all of it.
Yeah, and just think about the hits. It would bring that much gravitas to the collisions because you really have the feel that I'm coming at you. You know what I mean?
Hitting you, and actually putting palms on you.
Yeah, I think as far as pass coverage, and I have it up here on the screen. If you want to talk about a way of implementing it, and like you explained it perfectly and gave the perfect example of a game, as far as what we were talking about, what happens if you're playing a DB and a wide receiver gets behind you.
Yep. MLB The Show. Road to the Show has the perfect camera in mind for this if you play outfield. What ends up happening is because like in Madden, MLB The Show tracks the ball. So what would happen is the ball trajectory would go, you would run towards the ball, but the camera would just swivel around. There's no weirdness. There's no and I gotta stop and turn. Like with INT and Madden right now, the camera pauses and then you have to run. It's just all in one fluid motion.
Yeah.
So that's the idea that we came up with that would settle the ball because right now if you're playing a corner and if the ball gets behind you, there's no swivel.
Yeah.
There'll be no, and you couldn't play the ball. You wouldn't be able to do the one job that you're supposed to do as a defensive back, and that is to play the ball.
Yep.
So, yeah.
Yeah, and just like that weird pause, and the camera, I just don't like how, the game pauses, stops, and it rotates around. There were some people also that were in the conversation that were saying that they should implement a splash screen and then come back to the game. But that takes you out of the immersion of it.
It
You know?
completely takes you out. For me, it's like, does with this, and let me ask this question. With this addition and the camera wouldn't pause for INT, would the camera pause for the offensive player? So they could be ready for the ball coming to them, or is there no pause at all?
There would be no pause for
them.
them.
They would be looking normal, right?
Yes.
So it would be their view and then our view.
Yes.
So in my head, and just like you said, there'd be no pause at all. It'd be all one fluid motion. You'd grab the ball and run.
Yeah. And we're not saying this would be easy to implement, but
No.
I think that this would be something to separate a football game from any of those that have come before it. You know, outside of backbreaker, you know. And I think that that's a new take if you can have fresh ways of doing things. And it's been a long time since there's been real I don't know what the word I'm looking for.
Shake up.
Yeah, like not adjustments, but real ingenuity, or I can't find the word I'm looking for, that have come on the defensive side of the ball. Just think about playing defensive tackle, you know, in a 3 or 1 technique and stopping somebody running inside zone. It'd be a lot easier to kind of
You can control it and fill the gap better. Because you're looking at you're facing downhill instead of facing uphill.
Yeah, you're literally like just seeing it happen in front of you.
We also talked about like would you want the same camera for each player or each player type? No, but in our minds the camera will be tighter the closer you get to the line.
Yes, and then
the further back it'd be more zoomed.
Yeah, the linebacker would have a different view of the defense, and it's the tricky thing would be like when you're switching between players. You know what I mean? And
that might be a bit drawing.
Yeah, but you know what I mean, like with all the technology jumps that have been made, like with the different engines, like the Unreal Engine 5 and all that, I don't see why somebody couldn't implement it. I just think they would just add that much more to the game.
I just think, and also this is just for me. And Madden's been doing it this way for so long. You can't be scared to do something different.
Yes.
Even if it doesn't work, at least you can say that you tried something new. Also, here's a crazy idea: you can make it an option, right?
Yes.
Like if you want to play that way, you can. Like in Madden, right? There's multiple different views, so you could just make it that way. And
because when I was playing from that crazy view all 22
but
players,
I think that hurts you more because like we said, that the trajectory doesn't follow the player, Jay, it follows the ball. So like that skybox view doesn't really work on head to head.
No, and I stopped using it. I stopped using it. But this is just just our views on something that we feel would help separate Maximum Football apart from other games. It's like, don't be afraid to, take those type of risk, to do something. Because honestly, I think that it would be revolutionary to the game, because I'm tired from Madden and all other games just being so offensive centric, or, just offensive bias. You're always looking at stuff from the offensive side of the ball. It's all about offense, Well,
that's what sells,
Yeah, and
right. That's what sells.
Yeah, and I think that opens up the door to where there's all like other little implementations that you could put in on the defensive side of the ball. Different things that would be, would change up the game and make it even more real. But
it might make players actually look forward to playing defense. Like I always look forward to playing defense, but to be able to have that kind of control, and to do the things that you would normally do as a defensive player might make that a better fit.
Yeah, and be able to play linebacker. Like how many times on defense, because you really can't adjust the range or the distance, like when you're playing linebacker, to be able to actually scrape to the hole, because you can see the guys in front of you and you can keep that distance. You know what I mean? And okay, look, that gap's opening up over there on the left. I'm going to go over there and fill that gap.
But think about it like this: like all the things that we complain about like gap shooting and all of that stuff. I think that would just make all that irrelevant, because you wouldn't be able to, like, you know what I'm saying? You wouldn't be able to shoot that way.
Now
like an immediate bam.
Now I think it might make it a little bit worse for those who like. Yeah, for those who like
it could.
But
It could, but I don't know. I don't think it would because we'll just have to see.
Yeah, I just feel like it, like even, and when we go back to that old superstar mode, whenever you were able to play linebacker, I really enjoyed playing linebacker because it felt like I knew the distance. I could, I could scrape over, I could punch, I could do all the things that a middle linebacker or an outside linebacker does in the actual game. But then when I play an online head to head, I'm just like in this weird, like what we talked about before, that coming down angle.
Yeah, but it's inverted.
Yeah, I'm not going forward. And somebody was talking about muscle memory, but wouldn't your muscle memory naturally be going that way on the screen? Because you played all those years going up on the screen, then all of a sudden you're on defense.
That's true.
I'm playing everything down. True. You'd be able to play, passes better. If you wanted to use your cornerback, I think it would make you that much more efficient. Being able to keep things in front of you. Like the slant routes and everything else.
It would be able to, like, the route concepts that people can do now wouldn't be as abusable if the view was there. Like, like the levels design, the levels concepts and all that stuff. You wouldn't be able to get away with those multiple routes. Not saying it wouldn't work at some point because you can't cover everything as one person, but it takes away a lot of that cross middle cheese type stuff.
The reaction of seeing something in front of you and seeing somebody breaking in front of you. And I think a lot of times that's what makes it easy to dot somebody up on the offensive side of the ball because, because how you're looking at it. And you can see that defender coming down or whatever.
Right or whatever, yep.
Yeah. Yep. And that's just that's our point of view on it. And we haven't put out a video about Maximum Football, but this is something that we wanted to put up for discussion. And if you have any opinions or views on this, please feel free to drop it down below in the comments.
Not only that, join the server.
Yeah. And
come hang out.
Yes. And also be a link for that in the comments down below. But if you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe. And for now, it's been Smokin' Jay, Quasi91 with some Maximum Football news. And we'll see you next time.
Rules.